Hey, beach lover. It's March here at the beach, and daylight savings began, the time when we all, or most of us, lose an hour of sleep. I can only remember what direction the clock goes because of the saying, spring forward, fall back. And although it takes about a week or so for my body clock to adjust, it does feel good to know that spring is just around the corner, where the sunrise seems brighter, the sand feels warmer, and the beach vibe starts to shift with the onset of spring breakers, eager to get out of the cold and soak up the sun and fun. A few days ago, I went out on a sunny afternoon beach walk at low tide with my good friend Josh, watching his adorable dappled dachshund Atlas racing at top speed to catch a small orange and blue rubber ball that Josh had launched high and long across the expanse of sand toward the ocean's edge, his short but muscular legs propelling his long, lean body into the cold 60-degree water, headfirst to retrieve the ball as the waves washed him and the ball back to shore. And the look of pure joy on his face as he raced back to show us his prize, clenching the rubber ball covered in drool and sand between his teeth. I wondered how much longer before the water would be warm enough to go sunrise paddleboarding again, to drift along the ocean's surface lit by the morning sun, looking deep into the water below and wondering what ocean life is reaching out to capture the sun's rays. I stared out at the ocean, the bright sun rays sparkling diamonds on the surface. I was struggling with what theme to use for the podcast this month. So I closed my eyes, took a deep breath of salty air, exhaled, and waited for the beach to speak. What I heard was, it's time to take a journey into the ocean, a journey through water and through light. The ocean is not only a place we visit, it's a world layered with mystery, movement, and meaning. Beneath the surface, light travels differently. It bends, it softens, it fades, and with each layer of depth, life adapts in beautiful and unexpected ways. With this message from the beach, I created a series of sleep stories for the month, exploring how light moves through the ocean, from the bright, sunlit surface to the quiet twilight waters, and finally to the deep, dark places where life creates its own glow. But this journey is not always about the ocean. It's also about us. Because in many ways, our lives move through these same waters. There are seasons when everything feels illuminated, clear, growing, alive with possibility. And then there are moments when the light softens, the colors fade, and we learn to adapt to deeper currents. And sometimes when the world grows quiet and dark, we discover something extraordinary, a light that comes from within. Throughout this series, we'll float through the layers of the ocean while reflecting on the ways light shapes life on Earth. We'll touch gently on the science, how sunlight feeds underwater meadows, why the ocean slowly turns blue, and how creatures in the deep sea can actually create their own light. But we'll explore these ideas the way the beach might tell them. Softly, slowly, like waves whispering stories along the shore. This series also arrives during a meaningful time of the year. March brings the spring equinox, when day and night balance perfectly. It's a season of renewal, of shifting light, of life quietly preparing to grow again. And throughout the month, we'll also reflect on the moments that remind us how deeply connected we are to water, including World Water Day, a time to remember that the oceans breathe life into our entire planet. The ocean regulates our climate, absorbs heat from the sun, and holds ecosystems as delicate and powerful as seagrass meadows and coral reefs. In other words, The ocean is always responding to light, just like we do. Each story will take us a little deeper. In this episode, we'll begin at sunrise, in the shimmering waters where sunlight first touches the sea. Next, we'll descend slowly into the twilight zone, where color fades and creatures begin to glow. And finally, we'll reach the deep ocean darkness, where life has learned one of nature's most beautiful secrets: how to become the light itself. If you're ready, the beach and I would love to take you on the first journey of this sleep story series. However, because these stories are meant ideally for deep relaxation and to help you drift to sleep, you might want to pause here and listen to it later, when the time is right. Otherwise, find a comfortable, quiet place to settle in, let the sounds of the ocean carry you, and join me in the first episode of this sleep story series, Where the Light First Touches. Let's begin at the surface, where the light first touches. It's March, and the earth is tilting gently towards spring. The days are stretching just slightly longer. The sun lingers just slightly warmer. If you follow the language of the stars, this is the season of Pisces, a water sign. Fluid, intuitive, resting between sky and sea. Take a slow breath in and let it fall away like the receding tide. Imagine yourself here with me. Early morning. The shoreline is quiet. The air carries that salt, soft hush. That delicate, briny whisper. You step into the water. Cool silk around your ankles, your calves, your hips, until you lean back and float. Your ears slip just beneath the surface, and the world becomes muffled, blurred, hushed. You hear the ocean from inside now. A soft whoosh, a gentle shh, the rhythmic lap, lap, lap against your skin. Above you, behind closed eyelids, the sun is rising. Golden light filters through your lashes. Amber, honey, liquid warmth. The ocean catches the light like shattered glass, like sequins, like scattered diamonds trembling on blue silk. And you float. Weightless, supported, held. Water cradles you differently than air. It presses gently against your body, stimulating tiny receptors in your skin, calming the nervous system, slowing the heart rate. There's a reason we soften near water. There's a reason your breath deepens at the shore. Your body remembers. You began in water. The fireball in the sky, that glowing sphere of fusion and flame, offers exactly what life requires. Not too much, not too little, just enough. Light carries every color in the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. As sunlight enters the ocean, the water begins to sip these colors slowly. The warmer hues, the reds, the oranges, fade first. They dissolve quietly, absorbed in the shallows. And what lingers is blue. That is why the sea appears blue. Not because it borrows the sky, but because blue travels deepest. Let that settle in your body. Blue travels deepest. Take a deep breath in and exhale like a soft tide pulling back over the sand. This uppermost layer of the ocean is called the sunlight zone, the euphotic zone. From the surface down to about 200 meters. Here, light is abundant. Here, life flourishes. Microscopic phytoplankton drift like suspended gardens, turning sunlight into nourishment. Seagrass meadows sway in filtered beams, ribbons of green whispering in slow underwater currents. Sea turtles glide through the shafts of light. Silver schools of fish shimmer and turn as one. Dolphins rise and arc through the morning glow. This is a zone of photosynthesis, of oxygen, of visible beauty. This is where growth happens. And as you float here now, sun warming your face, salt drying softly on your lips, your own body responds to the light. Sunlight stimulates serotonin, balances circadian rhythms, signals safety to the brain. Light tells your nervous system you may relax. And water amplifies this message. the gentle hydrostatic pressure, the rhythmic sound frequencies, the negative ions carried in the sea air, all whisper to your body, you are safe. You may soften. You may rest. There is a line from John Masefield that says, I must go down to the seas again, to the lonely sea and sky. And perhaps it is not loneliness he speaks of, but spaciousness. The kind of spaciousness you feel now, floating between sky and sea. And from Mary Oliver, who so often listened to the natural word for instruction. Instructions for living a life. Pay attention. Be astonished. Tell about it. And now we are simply paying attention to light, to water, to breath. Even here at the surface, if you were to drift just slightly downward, you would notice something subtle. At about 50 meters, the rainbow begins to quiet. At 100 meters, only greens and blues remain. But you are not descending right now. You are floating in the place where color is still full, where life is still bright. And yet, there is something soothing about knowing that as certain as the colors fade, others endure. Blue remains. Blue is calm. Blue lowers blood pressure. Blue signals trust. Blue invites stillness. Imagine your thoughts, any sharp reds of urgency, any bright oranges of overstimulation, dissolving gently in the water, softening, cooling, leaving behind only tranquil blue. As you float here in the sunlight zone, ask yourself, what in my life is still receiving light? What is growing? What feels warm? No need to solve anything. Just notice. There is always a layer of you, no matter the season, that still receives light. Even if you have wandered through shadow, there is a surface within you where warmth lingers. Let's stay here for now. Notice how your breath now mirrors the tide. Inhale, the swell rising. Exhale, the wave dissolving into foam. Water regulates temperature. Water stabilizes the body. Immersion reduces cortisol. The ocean's low-frequency sounds, that steady hum, that rolling whoosh, and whispering shh, entrain the brain into slower wave patterns. Alpha, theta, the edge of sleep. You are drifting there now, suspended, buoyant, cradled. Your muscles loosen, your jaw softens, your tongue rests gently in the floor of your mouth. Even though your thoughts become fluid, less solid, less sharp, more like ripples, spreading, fading, disappearing into blue. It's March. The earth is quietly shifting toward renewal. Seagrass preparing to thicken. Plankton blooms beginning their invisible dance. Light returning in subtle increments. And you, too, are allowed renewal. You are allowed seasons of brightness. You are allowed to float. The sun now sits higher in the sky. Its warmth is steady. Its glow is consistent. You remain on your back, eyes closed, salt water supporting every inch of you. If a thought drifts in, let it drift out, like sea foam thinning on sand. If a memory flickers, let it flicker and fade, like light dissolving beneath the surface. You are not sinking. You are not striving. You are simply held. Repeat quietly in your mind, I am supported. I am buoyant. I am nourished by light. The ocean breathes you. The sun warms you. The blue surrounds you. And in this sunlight zone where the light first touches, it thrives. So do you. Rest now in the shimmer, in the hush, in the endless gentle shh of the sea. Like a tide slipping quietly back into itself. The beach is speaking. Are you listening?